Students, welcome to the Income Tax Law and Practice class with me. So the topic of today's class is going to be exempted payments, pension. So we will be seeing a few sums under the head pension. First sum, calculate the taxable pension of Mr. B, a government employee who retires on 30th April 2019 and receives rupees 2,400 per month as pension up to 31 October 2019. On 1st November 2019, he commuted 70% of his pension for rupees 1,80,000. He had a total of 35 years and 8 months service. Okay. Now, before we go into the sum, you have to understand clearly there are two types of pensions that are available to a person who is given a pension after his retirement. One is uncommuted pension and the second one is commuted pension. Uncommuted pension, you will be receiving it every month, monthly basis. Like salary itself, a pension also will be given every month to the employees. He can also go in for the option of commuting his pension, that is a lump sum amount will be given off to him and he can take it away, take up the entire amount as a pension. Instead of uncommuted, he can change it to a commuted type of a pension. Okay, now these are the two types you need to remember. Now coming to this sum, he is a government employee and according to the rules of IT for pension purpose, for a government employee, uncommuted monthly pension is going to be fully taxed. So for any employee, if not for that matter, that is whether he's a government or a non-government employee, uncommuted monthly pension, it's going to be like a salary that he is receiving. So uncommuted monthly pension is going to be fully taxed. But the commuted pension that he is converting, commuted pension is going to be exempted for a government employee, not for a non-government. For a government employee, it is fully exempted. So now we will calculate how much he is earning as uncommuted monthly pension. So he retires on 30th April 2019 and he receives pension from May. So April 30th he is retiring. From May 1st he is receiving his pension. So usually we'll assume it that he is receiving his pension on the 31st of every month. So a May month pension he is receiving in the month of May itself. Like that we will calculate. So starting from May to October 31st he is receiving 2,400 per month. Okay. So 6 months from May, June, July, August, September, October. 6 months he is receiving 2,400 per month as pension, which is going to be 14,400. In the month of October, what happens? Sorry, in the month of November, 1st of November, he is commuting his pension and taking up a lump sum amount. So 70% of his pension is going to be commuted. So the remaining 30% that is there is again uncommuted pension. So for that 30% we have to charge him for the tax. So from November, December, January, February, March. Till March is what we'll calculate for income tax purpose, March 31st. So for the remaining 5 months, 30% of 2,400 is going to be taxed as uncommuted pension. So 2,400 into 5 months into 30% only. So that will come up to 3,600. So your uncommuted taxable pension is 18,000. The remaining 70% of his pension is which is commuted because he is a government employee is totally exempted from tax. So when you come to the calculation of taxable pension, both the types of pension has to be added to get the taxable pension. So we have calculated uncommuted monthly pension to be 18,000 plus commuted pension. The second type is commuted pension, which I already told you because he is a government employee, it is fully exempted from tax. So you put a dash. So the taxable pension for this person is going to be only 18,000. So this is how you have to calculate the pension part. Okay, coming to the second sum. Mrs. X retires on 31/12/2019 and her pension was fixed at rupees 3,600 per month. She got three-fourth of the pension commuted, for which she receives 1,80,000 for her employer from her employer company. Find the taxable pension if with gratuity and without gratuity. So if you take a non-government person, there are two types of things you need to see, whether he is with gratuity and without gratuity. So if he is with gratuity, there is a separate rule. If he is without gratuity, exemption rate is separate. So that is what we're going to find out in this sum. So first, because this person, we are going to calculate both the things. First we will take for with gratuity. If it is with gratuity, muchever he is taking as pension, the uncommuted value is fully taxable and commuted value is also going to be fully taxable. Okay, so what he is receiving is pension received is 1,80,000 minus 1/3 of the full value is going to be the exemption rate in the case of with gratuity employees. So 1/3 of the full pay, full amount, whatever is his pension, the full amount has to be calculated now. So what is the full amount? 3/4 of their pension is 1,80,000. So how you're going to calculate the full amount is the full value of pension is equal to amount received on commutation divided by the ratio or the percentage of commutation. So you put 1,80,000 divided by, we know that it is 3/4. A ratio is given to us, not a percentage. So 3/4 is given to us. So 1,80,000 divided by 3/4. So that will be 1,80,000 into 4/3. So if you convert it, it will become 4/3. So your answer is going to be 2,40,000. So the actual pension amount that he has received is 2,40,000, out of which 1,80,000 he is taking as she is taking as commuted value. Okay. So now how are you going to calculate it? With the gratuity, 1/3 of the full value is going to be exempted from tax. So you take it as pension received is 1,80,000 minus the exemption rate is 1/3 of the full value. So 1/3 into what we have calculated as full value, 2,40,000. That you take, which will give you 80,000 rupees. So that has to be minused from the pension received. So if you minus that, you'll get the taxable commuted pension as 1 lakh. Okay. So that is how you have to find out the taxable commuted pension. Apart from this, you can also tax the remaining uncommuted pension. Uncommuted pension will be 3,600 per month. 1/4 of 3,600 per month. Every month she will be taxed. So that is going to be, that you need not show in this sum. They are only asking you the commuted pension value. So we'll take that as 1 lakh. Now if you take the second case, without gratuity, 1/2 of the full value is going to be exempted. So when you're calculating the taxable pension received is 1,80,000 minus 1/2 of the full value. So 1/2 of 2,40,000, which we have found out as full value, will be taken. So 1/2 of 2,40,000 is 1,20,000. If you minus that as exemption, you will get the commuted pension, taxable commuted pension as 60,000. So these are the two cases that we have seen in this particular sum. Okay, next topic is going to be exempted payment under leave encashment. The third type of topic is under exempted payment is leave encashment. So under this, we'll work out a few sums. Mr. Agarwal is an employee of UP government, retires on January 3rd, 2019 and receives rupees 4,20,000 as cash equivalent of earned leave to his credit. Find the taxable leave salary. So first we need to understand what is leave encashment. Leave encashment is the money, the cash that you get for not taking leave. So you can earn the leaves that you have in your credit. So if you don't take leave, that days which is actually given to you as a holiday and you're not going to take a leave throughout your years of service, that amount will be paid to you as cash when the person is retiring. Okay, so now this is a person who is working under the government. So we are asked to find out the taxable leave salary. So because Mr. Agarwal is a government employee, his leave encashment is fully exempted according to section 10(10)AA. Okay, so please remember, government employees leave salary is, or leave encashment that is gets when he retires, is fully exempted from tax. Mr. Vijayan was working in V Company Limited, retires from his employment after rendering a service of 23 years and 8 months. At the time of retirement, he receives rupees 4 lakhs as leave salary. His salary at retirement was rupees 14,000 per month. He was entitled to take 40 days of leave for every year of service, but he availed only 4 months leave in his service. Calculate the taxable leave salary. Okay, now we are going to calculate the leave salary if he is a non-governmental employee. So there are 4 rules that we have seen under the rule topic for leave encashment. 4 types of things that we need to see for exemption of leave salary. Okay, so before we go into the solution, we have to calculate a few things. Number 1 that we're going to calculate is leave at credit. So for IT purpose, you always need to remember this point. For IT purpose, 30 days or 1 month leave is allowed for the year. For a year of service, 30 days leave or 1 month fully is allowed as leave. So this person can take 30 days leave in a year or 1 month leave in a year. So now when he is retiring, how many days leave he is having in his credit is what we're going to calculate. Calculation of leave at credit. For this, we'll take earned leave allowed for 23 years service into 1 month. 1 month is allowed for every year. So he has worked for 23 years. So he gets a leave of 23 months for this entire service. So 23 years into 1 month leave is 23 months he is getting as leave at credit. Minus the leave that he has taken in his service. So how many months leave he has taken in his service? According to the sum, he's taken 4 months leave in his service. So you minus that, you will get 19 months of leave that he has never taken in his entire life of service. So leave at credit is going to be 19 months. So again, I'll repeat it again. He has earned leave of 23 years of service into 1 month for a year. So 23 into 1 is 23 months of service he is going to get. Leave that he has already availed in his service is 4 months. So the leave at credit when he is retiring, he is 19 months. 19 months leave he is never taken. So the entire 19 months amount is repaid back to him as cash. In the sum, if you see, it says he was entitled to take 40 days leave for every year of service. According to his company, they have given him 40 days, but according to IT purpose, only 30 days leave is allowed. And that is why we are calculating as 1 month for every year. So you please remember, even if they give 40 days of leave in a sum, we are only allowed to give him 30 days leave according to IT purpose. So leave at credit we have calculated as 19 months. So we'll keep this. We'll start off with the calculation of taxable leave salary. So when you come to this, as usual, we'll open up the same 3 columns. Actual leave salary received is 4 lakhs minus the exemption under section 10(10)AA. 4 types of exemptions we get, and the least of the 4 is what we'll take it to the outer column. So usually we have the actual amount as 4 lakhs. Second one, average salary into 10 months. So according to the sum, we have given 14,000 as average salary. Into 10 months, we'll take as 1,40,000. Notified amount is given as 3 lakhs according to the rule. The fourth point is leave at credit into average salary. So what is the leave of credit that we have found out in the note? 19 months leave at credit we have found out into 14,000 is the average salary that is given in the sum. So that will be 2,66,000. Out of these four, which is the least amount? 1,40,000. Take that to the outer column. Take that to the outer column. So minus it from the actual amount received. We'll get the taxable leave salary as 2,60,000. So this is how you have to find out the taxable leave salary. Mr. Gopal retires on 31/10/2019 after 20 years of service and receives rupees 48,000 as leave encashment for 12 months. His employee allows 1.5 month leave every year. He already encashed leave for for 18 months. His salary for 2018-19 was 3,000 and from 1/4/2019 was 4,000 per month. Compute the taxable leave salary. Okay, now we know that he is not a government employee, so we have to go in for the 4 exemption conditions. Before that, we have to calculate a few things for going into the exemption rates. So when we come to the solution, first we are going to find out what is the average salary for 10 months, because in this sum they have said he is earning 3,000 in the year 2018-19 and from 1/4/19 he is earning 4,000 per month. So we have to calculate the average salary for 10 months according to the exemption rule. Okay, so he retires in the month of October. And leaving October, previous 10 months salary we have to calculate. So in the year 2019, before October, from October we are going to calculate October, September, August, July, June, May and April. Till April, from 1st of April 2019 he is receiving 4,000. So for that 7 months he is receiving 4,000 into 7, 28,000. Previous to April 1, 2019, March, February and January. So for those 3 months, he is receiving 3,000 rupees. Okay. So 10 months calculation, 7 plus 3, 10 months we've calculated. Previous 10 months we have calculated. So till January 19, 10 months we have calculated. So that will be, the total will be, salary for 10 months will be 37,000. Now 37,000 is the amount that he is receiving for 10 months. Average salary is going to be divided by 10. So that will be 3,700. So we have calculated average salary for this person as 3,700 rupees. Now coming to the calculation of leave at credit. Just like the previous sum, leave at credit is earned leave allowed. He's worked for 20 years into 1 month. According to IT purpose, 1 month only is allowed. Even though in the sum we can see that he is allowed 1.5 months leave for a year. But we will calculate only for 1 month because according to IT rule. So 20 years into 1 month, 20 months he has a leave. He has availed leave for 18 months. That is also given to us in the sum. So if you minus that, leave at credit that he has is only 2 months. 2 months leave at credit only he is having. So you can keep that aside. Now coming to the calculation of taxable leave salary. So we open up the columns. We'll first write actual leave salary received is 48,000. Minus the exemptions. 4 exemptions are there according to the section 1010AA. Actual amount is 48,000. Second one, average salary into 10 months. So average salary, what have we found out as 3,700? That is 3,700 into 10. So that will be 37,000. Next is notified amount is 3 lakhs, that is fixed. Then you have leave at credit into average salary. What is the leave at credit that we have found out? 2 months into what is the average salary we found out earlier? 3,700. So 2 into 3700 is 7400. Out of these four values, which is the least value? 7400. Take that to the outer column. That will be given as exemption for leave encashment. So taxable leave salary is going to be 40,600, which is 48,000 minus 7,400, 40,600. This is how you have to compute the taxable leave salary. So thank you students for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed and you have understood the concept of exempted payments for pension and exempted payments for leave salary, also leave encashment. So make sure you go through this video again and again so that you will understand the sums clearly. You will be able to work out the sums on your own. Please go through it and learn from this video. Thank you, students.